Okay, so Lairs.
They like to live up in the mountains, of course.
Yep.
Tall places. They don't really have a lair.
That's where they nest,
Yeah, that's where they
specifically,
nest.
because they have huge areas of territory where
Like
they hunt
hundreds
in.
of miles.
Yeah, and they're so big. Everything's bigger with them, right? So it makes sense. But they nest in the high mountains. It keeps their nest safe. Pretty much, not much can really get up there. It's not only can they fly higher than most things, but
And plus, who
nothing
would
goes
want
up
to
there.
risk the wrath of a rock, too?
True, but their eggs are the only thing that they probably feel vulnerable about because they themselves won't be hurt, but something could go and hurt their eggs. So they want to keep their nest nice and safe at the top of a giant mountain, and that's where they're going to nest. So if there's mountains around, there may be a rock, but there is another requirement for if there's a rock.
Plains. A
Plains.
lot of open ground. Oceans, tundra.
Ocean, desert.
Yeah, desert.
Yeah, because again, if they put their nest on a mountain, but that might not be a desert mountain. They might just hunt in a desert that's hundreds of miles away. And
Dang.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the reason they like plains or deserts or tundra, basically these open spaces, is the obvious reason because they're massive, and that is a hindrance.
Yeah.
Not only can they see, so that's also a big plus, but if they go to hunt something, trees are really tough for them to maneuver through because they're giant. So they want a big space that's open. So if your PCs are in plains and a rock shows up, that's not only guaranteed, like the rock is going to see them unless they're in tall grass or something, but where are they going to go? It's a perfect place for the rock to hunt in, so that's where the rocks would be hunting. So
Yeah, no. I mean, I kind of like the idea. Like, I don't think it's hundreds of miles, but like their territory has to be humongous.
Oh yeah, we were saying hundreds of miles. That would hundreds of miles, not in one direction. It's hundreds of miles, like
in a radius.
It's like it's the square footage, right? I would say it's like 10 miles in one direction, but then 10 miles in the opposite direction, 10 miles left. So 10 miles north, 10 miles south, 10 miles east, 10 miles west. And then if you average that all together, you're probably going to get...
that up to 30 miles.
You would?
Yeah.
I think the official is 10. But
is it 10? That seems small.
I mean, it's as big as it needs to be because they can fly super fast. So if they need to go farther for food, they will, right?
I mean, yeah. Yeah, no, yeah, they're literally like jumbo jets that just...
Yeah.
So, yeah, literally. So, yeah, but if we talk about their nests, you're probably thinking, like, why would I ever go to, like, a stupid bird rock nest?
Yeah, so what would you find in a nest?
Number one, it's frickin' eggs. They're actually pretty valuable for magic items. Each egg goes about 800 gold pieces, which I think is...
But, of course, they're bigger than you, so... You're going to have to work hard to get it down the mountain.
And it's also so hard to transport them, the fact that they're massive. Number two, you have to keep them warm constantly or the egg perishes. So,
and they're on the top of a mountain. You can't just roll them down.
Roll it down.
What are you going to do?
Yeah.
And there's typically 2 to 5 eggs in a nest.
Yes. 5 is...
Yeah, it's the high end.
Yeah.
2 to 5.
Yeah, 2 to 5. But what you also see is broken pieces of carriages...
Yep.
So the remains, and also the big one, the remains of its prey. So you might see some ivory tusks, some cattle bones, whale bones, dragon bones.
Yeah.
Wyvern, all sorts of some giant armor and weapons.
Yeah.
You also see the loot of the carriages and the boats, literal boats. They'll pick up boats and put
just
them
take
in.
the boats.
Yeah, they'll just take the boats so that you'll find gold stuff in the boats. And they don't really care for the gold.
Yeah, they don't hoard, so you're not... a lot of monsters will, like, have valuable stuff in them inherently because they collect valuable stuff, but rocks are more like they just eat anything, and so the remains of these things could be valuable, and that's about it. But these nests are huge. These are going to be giant nests.
Yeah, so...
They're made out of, like, trees.
Literal
like, not
trees.
like branches, but also, like, just straight-up trees.
Rip the tree and...
Oh,
the
yeah.
Tree just gets... Whoa! It just gets, like, flung.
That's true.
Yeah.
But, yeah, or anything else. Maybe like a boat is just in, like, part of the nest.
Yeah. I think the nest is, like, 50 feet wide?
It would be its own, like, combat area.
Yeah.
Like, it would be a fun fight to have, like,
You fight
the hatchlings, right? And so, you get dropped to the nest somehow. We'll get into maybe how that happens. And then the hatchlings start hatching, and they're the first thing they see, and then they imprint on you, and you have a bunch of pet rocs. No, I'm just kidding. You probably have to fight them.
Yeah.
They're like hungry.
But then a mysterious man comes and tames the Rocs. He pulls out his hood, and he's a bald, tan man, ripped.
He goes by the Bald Eagle.
The Dwayne The Rock Johnson, maybe.
Oh. Nice.
I make a character, his name is Dwayne, and he has a pet roc. Get with it.
Nice. Okay, so Lairs, they're nests made out of trees, very big, with eggs.
Maybe trees.
At the top of mountains.
Yes.
But they hunt in open spaces of any type within a large radius around their nest.
Yes, and oceans, too. So
oceans are open.
Rip the whales.
Yeah.
Whale wars, just like...
Yeah, like imagine an eagle just like flying by and picking up a big salmon and flying away. They do that, but with whales.
Yikes.
So it's just, yeah.
So now, do you want to get into combat strategies? It's pretty simple.
It is simple. Yeah. But let's get into it.
So initially,
there's some misconceptions.
Yeah, so they will surprise you.
They will.
I mean, it's hard to get surprised on by a roc.
They won't surprise you, but it's basically the equivalent because you have no chance of running away. By the time you see it, it will get to you so quick, there's nothing you can do.
Yeah. Yeah, so basically, at first, they will pick you up. They might pick you and your horse up in one talon, which I think is very capable of doing.
It's technically
not.
It technically can only grapple one thing at a time with both talons.
That's so dumb.
I was going to suggest, with extra ideas, a homebrew of allowing them to pick up multiple things at once, just because it just makes sense.
A person's like its finger.
Yeah,
it could pick up a horse and a...
It could pick up your whole party in the dirt under them, right? Like, it's that big.
With one talon.
With one talon. And so the fact that it wouldn't be able to pick up you and a horse, no.
Yeah.
It could I would definitely homebrew that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
But technically, if you want to stick to the rules, it can only pick up and grapple one thing at a time.
So stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so basically it's betting on you just instantly dying from its talon attack. But
most things would.
Most prey would, like cows, horses, and
even an elephant could die in the first hit.
Yeah.
So
generally it's gonna, because once you think about it, hawks and eagles actually do that. If they're attacking land animal, they'll just boom, just shock, just instantly kill the animal.
And if they're not dead by the first talon hit, they got multi-attack, so they'll just throw down their beak and break its neck.
If that still doesn't do and the thing is still fighting, it'll just fly up and drop it.
Yeah. Okay, so there's a couple strategies. The first one it will do is it will hit hard and fast, and then use its beak. It will grapple its thing with its talons, and then use its beak just to peck at it while it's grappled. And so if it's attacking your party, let's just say it is attacking your party, because that's probably a situation.
No, we should talk about the natural documentary.
Well, if it's attacking an animal, then it will kill it, period. But let's say it's fighting your PCs. So it will probably pick a target, any target, whichever one, maybe the big one, but it's not going to target anything based off of if it's like a wizard or something. It's not smart. So it just picks a target, probably the biggest one, pounces on it basically, or dives on it, and then grapples it and uses his beak to kill it. And then if it kills it, it will either eat it on the spot or fly away with it and be done. It's probably not going to... If it wants to hunt the others, it may, but it might just fly away with the one thing it killed. Because it can just fly up in the air and kill something a couple miles down the road. You know what I mean? It's just constantly killing. So that's strategy one. Now, however, though, if let's say your PC is being a little difficult, it's got a couple other things it will do. One, if it's armored, or just fighting back nastily. Like, let's say your big barbarian is, putting up a good fight.
Punching the Roc's feet.
And the roc is like, oh, God, it's dealing damage to me. The roc will fly up in the air, and especially if it's armored, and birds do this in real life, and drop it. And the point of dropping it is it's to break its hard shell. So if it's, eating a crab or something, or a turtle. It can't peck through the shell, so it just flies it up into the air and drops it, and on impact it shatters and then goes and eats up the pieces.
Yeah, so if you don't think about it, so it could just dash up and it'll already be at what?
340 feet.
300?
If it dashes, it can go 340 feet in the air in one turn. So that's a rip.
So every 10 feet of that is a d6 of damage.
So that's 34 d6s of damage if it gets dropped, and that's if it flies up one turn. It could go 2 turns.
And normally it's like, and normally it like pecks you first, then it flies up some more, then pecks you first, then flies up. Then if you're being difficult, just yoink.
Yeah. Now if you're not being difficult, it's not going to do this.
Yeah.
It will. If you play dead, you'll trick it. Right. It's not smart. Or it might just eat you. So I don't suggest as a player
to try
fighting it too hard if you're grappled, because it will run away. Now, if you're like untouchable and like you're like the nimble monk and it just cannot grab you, then like you're safe. Like it will hit you with straight up big chunks of damage, but at least it's not going to fly you 680 feet in the air and drop you. That just it would kill you.
Well, yeah, no, that's true.
Now, of course, you're probably up against level 11 PCs, and the real magic.
Strategy.
The factor here that helps the PCs out is the magic, because magic is a wild card, right?
Featherfall.
You got Featherfall, which would be a big one here. But you also can teleport away. You can maybe charm it, although it does have a resistance, or it has a saving throw on charisma. But there's a lot of magic stuff you can do. But if you just try to fight it, like sword on talon, it's
gonna spank you.
You're dead.
Yeah, so magic is very important to save yourself from a rock.
Very important.
Unless you're a flying race like an Anakakra.
True. Yeah, of course you're really weak if you're. I don't think Arakakras are little guys.
Yeah, they're like 4 feet tall.
They probably wouldn't even target you. It'd be like targeting a fly. You know what I mean?
Flies are good though.
Are they?
No, I'm just kidding. Remember, kids, don't eat random stuff at home.
Yeah.
Yes. Do you want to get into its fun facts now? Oh wait,
not yet. Common strategies. Yeah. You got common strategies?
Remember the smart ones? They can drop stuff on you.
Oh yeah, if you got a smart one.
Bomb and run.
Yeah, it's a bombing run.
It's a bombing run. That would be sick.
Yeah, I just don't. I feel like the smart one, if it's smart enough, it's just so rare. Like, what would it need to drop anything on you for? You know what I mean? Like, what's the point? Right. Maybe if you're using them in some epic battle, like you would like send the rocks, drop the boulders, like some Narnia action or something.
Gandalf with the Great Eagles.
Sure.
God, the Great Eagles did that much damage to armies. Imagine what a freaking rock would do.
Rocks are crazy. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's just the thing is you can't really tame one to be on your side. It's like this. It's this predator for all things. There's something for everything to fear, which is great. All right, but something left I have with common strategies is just how it would run away, and so it would run away if you get it down to low HP.
Unless you're by its eggs.
Unless you're by its eggs. Yeah, it will fight to the death if you're by its eggs. But if you're never going to really kill one, because if you do get it down, it's going to fly away with its ridiculous speed, and it's gone. And it's just going to be like, okay, this thing is, I don't know what this thing is, but it's strong, so I'm just going to leave. Like, it doesn't have pride or anything. It's like, oh, you're actually hurting me. I'm going to leave. So there's that. The other thing is it's not scared in any way, which we already talked about. But how this comes about in fighting is even if you're doing a good job, it will stick around for a long time to fight you. It may even leave and come back. It's just not. If it sees you again, it may be like, oh, maybe this time I'll kill it. It's just always going to be confident until it's like in a literal moment of I'm about to die, or like I'm down to 90 hit points, which is a lot, but not for the rock, and so it will fly away. So yeah, that's the rock.
Yeah, pretty.
It's fast and hard. Grapples.
Normally kills everything it hits.
Yeah,
almost instantly.
And if you're confident, if it is very confident, and if it does grab you, it may just think you're dead, even if you're not, and just pick you up and not even try to kill you. Like if you're just tiny, right? If you're the equivalent of a worm to this thing, it may feed you to its hatchlings alive. If you are truly tiny.
Rip if you're the halfling.
Yeah, if you're a halfling, it may not even bother. It might not even know it has you in its talon. You know what I mean? It may just fly you to the nest without even realizing it.
It might just look at what? Oh, like what the heck? Yeah.
It probably wouldn't even care. It's like it'd be kind of like a little bug crawling around, like if there was an ant crawling on a bird nest, the bird wouldn't care.
Yeah.
Right? It'd be like, that's an ant. No, it's not gonna hurt me. So yeah, combat strategies. You got anything else?
No, that's basically it.
Okay.
Unless you make it a bombing run over a city, you make it drop like TNT-filled carriages.
Yeah.
Vietnam.
No. Right.
I just hear that song. What's that song called? Fortunate Son.
Yeah.
That plays with Rocs going in the background. Yes! The American faction.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess it'd have to be an American song. Birds of Prey.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway. All right.